Absolutely. So I'm Paul. I'm from a little place called Plymouth on the southwest coast of England. I'm a shaman, a druid, a Reiki master, and I work with clients to help them unpick and unweave their life story, their life script, the limiting story that they tell about themselves. It comes from a Celtic word known as gesh, which means curse or taboo. In all our ancient Celtic mythology, there's always a hero trying to unbind themselves from some form of curse. And we understand that today as a life script. So I work with people to unweave their old life script to weave a new powerful story, one that's empowering, that leads them to greater levels of fulfillment and empowerment. Yeah, that's me. Hi.
Good.
And actually, I used to be in the group. I used to do the inner child segment, but as obviously our discussion last week, I'm going to be giving you the wisdom of the Celtic trees. So that's going to be my little bit. Thank you.
Cool. I've experienced the healing of trees. I'm so glad that you're going to introduce the magic of the trees. Thank you. And you're wearing the appropriate green.
Yes.
Carl, good to have you with us.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good, yeah, just a different microphone. So yes, I'll introduce myself. So I'm Carl Preisler, from Ireland originally, but also living in Spain, very close to where Anna's living. I've kind of taken slightly early retirement, moved here to Spain. I'm a trance medium, so I go into trance, almost like full trance, and my guides come through and speak directly to the client, and they will often give spiritual advice or philosophy and trance healing as well. And then I did Reiki in the past, but it's more or less morphed mostly into trance and a few other things, but that's the main.
Thank you, Carl. Good to see you. Padma, would you like to introduce yourself? I could unmute.
I couldn't reach the microphone because the cat was in front of it. So I'm sorry.
Hello, cat.
That introduces me, the animal communicator. Here we are. There is someone, with some cups or something. Maybe there's some extra.
Oh, it's my partner Joe in the background. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. That's
He's going to make some soup for later. Sorry.
All right. That's all right. I love the lotus flower behind you.
Thank you.
Yes, very beautiful. So I am Padma from K Speaks to Your Pet. I have recently received a new name. That's why you see Padma rather than Kaylee. It's fine if you remember Kaylee. It's all right. I have been, a kind of a practitioner, color therapist, and pain relief management therapist for many years, and then I changed my life and we came here to Sicily. So I'm also in the south, somewhere in the sun. And at first, we were kind of like dedicating our lives to the land and all that. But what happened then, through the quietness of the nature here and all that, I noticed that I was able to kind of connect with animals and plants, really, and trees, and so that developed into animal communication and healing. So I kind of brought now the two things from before, that I was treating people with the animals, and kind of saw that animals often have something to tell us, and their behaviors often tell us as well something, because they would not do something if there was not a reason for it. So once we understand what that is, that will ease. And I then noticed that there was a pattern of kind of a mirroring kind of happening between the pet parent, you can say, and the pet. And once that was seen and healed in the person, it would then heal as well in them. And so that's basically what I'm doing, and I'll be kind of introducing very briefly what animal communication is afterwards.
You know, you mentioned something very interesting that I've noticed when I'm working with a group doing healing work, is that when one person brings up an issue, it's mirrored throughout the whole group, because we all contain a part of each other.
That's right.
It's very relevant to everyone. So I think it's important that we not fear bringing our own issues to the surface for healing, because when we're brave enough to speak our truth, whatever that is, and however painful that is, there will be something for not only your own healing, but for another person's, you know. So thank you for bringing that up about the mirroring. It really brings up a very important point. Greta, I'm going to come to you last because you're just getting out of the car. Bonnie, how are you?
Hi, good. I just wanted to tell you that I just realized today that this group is like going to church, you know, and it's the community that we've gotten between each other. It's kind of like the excitement of, oh, good, I get to go meet everybody again. But anyway, about me, I'm 70 years old, and I have all the general stuff that most people do. I'm a registered nurse by profession, and I have 239 college hours, so that were unsent to be anything. So anyway, in 2019, I had a near-death experience, and it's probably one of the most longest recorded ones medically that anyone has ever had. And that during that incident, at some point, I was told so many things, but one of the things that I came back knowing is that when I got back to Earth, I was supposed to study herbs. Now, mind you, my brain was injured. So within a year and a half, I took a class where there were doctors in it. And I took the class knowing that I would probably score very lowly, but I was told to go in there and learn everything that I could about herbs. And so that's what I did. And so that's a basic who I am. That's all I can say. Excuse me.
Appreciate
And I'm very,
being here.
thank you.
You were going to finish your sentence by saying, I'm very... Oh, well, I would also like to say about you, Bonnie, that I believe that you are a psychic artist as well, because you see and interpret through your art. Yeah. So
She's got a cat there behind. Look at that. And behind there's a cat. A cat.
Oh, beautiful. A magical cat as well. Love that. Roz, hi. How are you? Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Alexis. Hi. Wow, I'm in the company of great souls, to be fair.
We're all reflections of each other.
Oh, thank you, Alexis. My name is Roz. I live in Ramsgate, the southeast of the UK at the moment. I'm originally from Ireland. I'm a closet medium, sensitive, empath, psychic. At the moment, I'm just surviving. That's it. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you. Thank you for being brave enough to speak your truth. I'm going to come to Greta in a second, but I'd just like to say, me too. I'm just surviving at the moment. I've been in a very strange space today. I woke up very early to sing at an event at St. Paul's Cathedral just outside, and it was the arrival of Amal, the human rights puppet that's been walking across the globe. And it's like a 7-foot puppet with a human inside it, with two people either side of it. And I was singing with a gospel choir. But for the past couple of days, I've been going in and out of like extreme tears and just crying and then coming out of it and not understanding why I've been crying.
I empathize with you. I'm the same. I'm just crying and crying and crying and crying. I don't know why, to be honest.
Right.
Well, I do and I don't. Sorry, Alexis.
Well, we're releasing something, right? But I also learned that yesterday there was a very a strange anomaly in the human resonance, which is the resonant frequency of Earth. And on the graph, which shows what's happening to the Mother Earth, there was this weird anomaly. We don't know whether it's a sunspot, but I think that we all know deep down that the Earth is waking up and the energy is shifting. And of course, there was that horrific shooting as well, which is another story. But we hold those people in love as they transition. But I think that there's a lot of planetary activity going on, for sure.
Definitely. And I think as an empath, tuning, I'm always tuning into something. So, but I'm trying to keep my boundaries, but it's not easy, as you well know, Alexis. So
100%. Yeah. Roz, great to have you with us. Thank you. Greta and your lovely cat, do you want to say hi? Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Greta and this is Balder.
Hi, Balder.
He's named after the most beautiful Norse god, and he knows he's pretty.
Don't say too much, please. Don't say too much.
Okay, I won't say too much. Thank you. So yeah, I'm in Norway. I'm a manifestation coach and energy healer. And as you saw earlier, an excellent driver. And yeah, I've been in the group since quite early, I think. And I usually do a group energy healing session if I don't think of something else that I want to share. But yeah, I usually do emotion code with the group. So help find and release trapped negative emotions to help with either in general, or if anyone comes up with a theme or I come up with something I want to work on. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here with us, Greta. And I can feel my own energy shifting as I'm, connecting with you all. It's a beautiful thing. I want to give Elizabeth the first port of call this evening. Before I do, I want to very briefly, just for a couple of minutes, ask the question to you all. Actually, maybe I'll do it the other way around. I'll let Elizabeth talk and then ask the question. But I wanted to mention to you all about the Archangel Gabriel, because on every sacred segment, I bring to mind a particular aspect of divinity. And the Archangel Gabriel was the angelic entity that wanted to come through today. And the essence of Gabriel's energy is communication, and specifically for teachers, for spiritual understanding, for positive change, for solutions, for the throat chakra and communication. And obviously, we can call on all of the angels and their energy to assist us. So let's consciously intend for the angels to be with us here this evening and with the world. For positive change and for solutions and for positive communication between us. And so the Archangel Gabriel. There was one other thing that I wanted to say before I hand over to you, Elizabeth, and that is to focus on what you want your intention to be this evening. And I'll say it in one word if you can, and then we'll go to Elizabeth. Okay, just one word for your intention. I will start, and then I'll ask Greta, Roz, and Bonnie. Okay, so my intention is centeredness. Greta.
Mine is curiosity.
Thank you. Ross.
Mine is peace.
Thank you. Bonnie.
Open.
Thank you. Padma.
Love and clarity.
Thank you. Carl.
Connection.
Thank you. Paul.
Healing.
Thank you. Anna.
Expansion.
Great. And Elizabeth.
Truth.
Beautiful. Okay. Please feel free to share, Elizabeth.
Oh, thank you so much. I'd like to start by asking, is anybody in this room, I know Alexis is anyone else familiar with the work of Howard Wills or John Newton? Okay. Well, we're all kind of in this work, at least tangentially. So, ancestral clearing is an actual trademarked, registered process that John Newton of Health Beyond Belief teaches. Howard kind of pioneered this work, and then John kind of put it into a package and added 5 different techniques. I thought I'd share one with you today. Interesting, Alex asked me to come in, and we got together a few months ago, and I was like, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to bring in. And I liked, in this kind of space, I'd like to bring in what's kind of coming up in the moment. Lately, most of my clients have been coming with a lot of stuff around the mother wound. So I thought I would, and so this beautiful ancestral clearing prayer just kind of dropped in the other day. I think Archangel Gabriel has been tapping on my shoulder lately. There's a lot of stuff around communication has been coming in. So I thought I'd share this prayer on ancestral clearing for the mother wound. In this practice, we use the word forgive to mean offering up that which no longer serves us. We're offering it up to all that is, creator, consciousness, whatever you want to call that energy. We're offering up that which we know no longer serves us. So if you could just sit quietly and stay present, if possible. Here we go. Divine Creator, all that you are, thank you for the gift of life and connection. We ask humbly that you please help us in all our relationships and all our ancestors and all their relationships throughout all time, space, timelines, lives, lifetimes, realms, and incarnations. For any time there was a rupture in the relationship between mother and child in the womb, through the birth experience as a newborn or at any other time, and for all that led up to it and arose from it, including unhealthy beliefs or limitations, poor boundaries, unrealized senses of self, poor esteem, self-esteem. Please help us all, everyone involved, to forgive one another and forgive ourselves. Please and thank you. For any time mothers felt fearful or powerless in the face of the experience of conception or birth, and for any adverse effects this had on the child. For all regret, injustice, or anger around any unhealthy womb or birth experiences, and for any guilt or shame that followed. For any time anyone felt a sense of shame, or that there was something wrong with them, but they didn't know what. Please help us forgive and release everyone involved, and help us forgive and release ourselves. Please and thank you. For all codependence that develop between mothers and children in the entire lineage, and for all that arose from it, including but not limited to caretaking others to the point of resentment and exhaustion, for neediness or feeling we had to have the approval of others in order to act, rather than stand in our power and act from there. Please help everyone involved directly and indirectly to forgive and release each other and forgive ourselves. Please and thank you. For any time women felt the weight of the obligation to bear children, but didn't experience the joy of it, and for all that the children felt because of it. For any time anyone felt the pressure of having to live the unrealized dreams of the mother rather than their own. And for any time we felt we had to play small in life rather than rise into our full potential, please help us all to forgive and release one another and forgive and release ourselves. Please and thank you. Divine Creator, please help all mothers forgive all the children. Please help all the children forgive all the mothers. Help all the women forgive all the men, and all the men forgive all the women through the entire lineage for all that happened and didn't happen, and all anyone made it mean, and for all the letdown because of it, for all of it, for once and for all. Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. And if you could just take a breath, let it out, take in a breath and let it out. Notice how that feels in the body. That's half the practice of ancestral clearing. Yeah, you felt the heat, right?
Very much so.
Yeah. The other half of the practice is awakening. And this is just a little bit of writing that kind of came through that I thought I'd share with you guys. We are this extraordinary combination, called into form as both time-bound and a multi-sensory mind-body-spirit complex, and living beyond time in the eternal. It might seem as if we're time-bound, imprisoned by the confines of time, yet from another perspective, you might see it as time is moving through us, an expansive view, new view. These are holy days for introspection, a time to rest quietly alone in prayer and meditation, plumbing the inner depths and exploring the dark and light in these spaces. The divine light flickers amidst all the shadowy ghosts within, specters of unresolved traumas, gently but beseechingly taunting us to clear them out for once and for all. The ancestors live here too. Keep going. We're holding the light steady for you. Plumb away. Gather up all the shattered and forgotten pieces of yourself and make peace. Come to resolution and integration. Resurrect yourself in the light. Let the light burn away all doubt, trouble, regret, resentment, and fear. Remember who you are. Activate, dwell in the light. Even when it seems it's only the barest of flickers as the darkness grows and drives its shroud forward, trying to crowd it out. Relate to all those who came before you, to yourself, to beyond, to all that is, the unseen and unknowable. You live and rise on the shoulders of such giants, it's hard to grasp even an iota of this miracle. Contemplate the heart. Its fierce fires of love in all colors and temperaments, joy, grief, longing, experiencing the vast unified field, the mysterious force of grace. Emerge as the soul pushes ever forward in evolution, and rejoice, the light lives internally lit in you. Thank you for listening.
That was really beautiful. Thank you so much. Very powerful. Okay. Before handing over to Padma, I would like Anna, if you could please go next.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that, but okay. Sure. So how much time do I have?
Between 7 and 10 minutes.
Let me just, hold on. I want to be able to see the time. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I wanted to share something with everyone from my life this week, and then talk about what transpired from that. So, Sunday was my father's birthday, would have been, because my father's dead. And Monday, my uncle died. He was 102, so it was no surprise. But that means that I have one remaining uncle left in the world, and some cousins that I don't talk to, and a brother. And I suddenly became very aware of how alone I am in the world. At least that was the feeling. And I became very sad. And then yesterday I went to a meeting and I felt very dissociated from everybody, and very like all of a sudden I felt like I didn't belong. I started questioning what I was doing here. And I felt, and I went, aha, because that is not my natural state. And I became aware, it was that feeling of alienation that clued me in, that because I was feeling sad and I was in a state of grief, a little opening had come into my aura and a negative entity attached to me. So it wasn't, I don't think it was fully attached, okay? Because then I would have really spiraled down and been in a state of feeling despair, because I know what that feels like to have that. But I really felt that that was going to happen. So I did a clearing on myself, cleared my room and everything. And as soon as I did this clearing, boom, that feeling went away. I'm still sad about my uncle. I still have other things going on, but that feeling is gone. So I wanted to talk about this topic. It's not a particularly nice topic, but I think it's really, really important. And so it's about spirit attachment, negative entity attachment. So in the United States, I don't know in the world, but in the United States, 75 to 80% of people have entities, ghosts, human souls, or something attached to them. This is according to one shamanic exorcist. 50 to 60% of people or more have dark forces, demons, or dark extraterrestrials attached to them. And 80 to 90% of people have an entity attached to their land. So that's a lot. That's a lot. In terms of what these spirits are, there are demons, okay, and there are different types. The most common, well, demons are the most common entity, but the most common one, I think, is the shape-shifting giant demon. I've come across a lot of them. There are also just plain old giant demons and lesser demons, okay? Then there are the dark ETs and reptilians and grays. Fallen angels, those are rare, but I did clear one once from somebody. And negative spirit entities, such as dark spirits. They're like dark spirits that work for the dark forces. And when they come in through cuts and holes in your aura, or through like intense emotion, like like a shock, for example, somebody dying, or any kind of substance abuse, right? Like excessive use of alcohol, most drugs, and so on. Any kinds of fear. Okay, I think that is probably the number one way they come in, is through fear or really strong anger. Anytime you give away your power to somebody, they can come in. And of course, trauma, any kind of trauma. So it's very, very important for us to be aware of this so that we can maintain our aura as strong as we can, and to be able to identify when these entities come in. Okay, because I'm very experienced with this, I understood it pretty much immediately. I was like, oh, this is not okay. This is not me. This is something attaching to me. So that then you can address it before, because what they do is they feed off of your negative emotions and give you more, and stir the pot, kind of. So part of our spiritual practice needs to be for what, and this has to do with manifestation as well, really monitoring our thoughts, our negative thoughts, really maintaining good mental hygiene, spiritual hygiene through really becoming very self-aware and really monitoring what we think and how we respond to things so that we're not in reactive mode. I think that this aspect of spiritual growth is something that is so vitally important. My spiritual mentor years ago, I mean, he was always telling us the importance of doing our work on ourselves and our soul psychology. So, because if, yeah, you can contact me and I can clear you, but if you don't keep this clear, and maintain a strong aura, strong boundaries, so like you have bouncers at the door telling them not to come in, basically what we're doing, right? You'll just get things coming in again and again, right? There are certain people who are constantly getting attacked by entities because they're not maintaining that. So maintaining good spiritual hygiene, developing a spiritual practice is super important to really strengthen your aura so that anything that tries to attach either has a hard time attaching or it bounces off, or the second that it is trying to attach, you recognize that that's what's going on. So I feel so much better since clearing myself last night. And it was, it wasn't hard for me to do. So, and it made me understand that I'm actually a shamanic exorcist. And because I've been doing this actually a lot lately. Greta knows. So I wanted to talk about that. I know it's like not the nicest feel-good topic, but I think it's so important. And I think it also is about, when you stand in your power, you become fearless. These beings are just, whatever, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing their job, but it's our job to stand in our power, maintain our boundaries and say, no, you cannot come in. Gandalf, that you shall not pass. I love that scene in The Lord of the Rings. You shall not pass. And be forceful about it, because it's our right to have clear, clean energy and not to have these things feeding off of us. It is our right. And to be in our personal power is how we manifest the things we want. So staying in our personal power, maintaining our spiritual boundaries, doing our spiritual hygiene, I believe is an essential part of any spiritual practice. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. A huge part of my work is helping people to do this. And I'm now going to be offering shamanic exorcism sessions, I decided, as a separate service. And I feel very called to do that. So thank you for listening. And I hope you found this informative or useful in some way.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes. What you reminded me of is how powerful as well as weak we all are.
Exactly.
And the duality of the nature of our being.
Exactly.
And reality, actually. And, how with just the power of thought, we can combat that. And of course, angelic assistance or divine assistance.
Right. But I think that the angelic assistance is there to help us.
Absolutely.
Like, we have to use it. So absolutely. The empowerment, the self-empowerment, this is what it's all about. We have this power to do this. And it's our responsibility.
Yes.
Right? So sorry, I don't mean to be like this.
No, not at all. Thank you, Anna. That was really interesting, and it's so obvious that it's kind of like easy to overlook as well. Okay, thank you. Let's just take a breath. So Padma, I'm going to hand over to you now, and I just want to quickly say before I do, unless anybody feels opposed to the order of how things will go. After Padma, it will be Paul, Bonnie, Greta. Okay? And if you want to change that, you're welcome to. Padma, it's you.
Oh, what a beautiful, gorgeous cat we have. But anyhow, I gave you a brief intro at the beginning, but just to kind of say what animal communication or telepathic communication is feeling at a distance, and you seem to be all kind of be empathic, and so therefore also telepathic. So it would be becoming very easy for you, still your mind, to be able to kind of pick up both those feelings right now. And you know, I'm just going to put this quickly in. We can just all maybe say one word, you know, just sensing his energy. And before I start kind of with the rest, you can just perhaps popcorn style say what you're picking up, you know, what is he right now communicating.
Shy.
Restless.
Yeah, that's the word that came to my mind too, restless.
He wants to go outside, but
Busy.
he can't because it's dark outside and he's not allowed.
Frustrated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say super sensitive.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Playful.
Yeah, I was getting adventurous.
Very good. So this is the start of animal communication. Well, Ross, did you say something? Sorry, darling. Ross?
I just said, what did I say? Busy, busy. He's busy.
Busy, yes. So I said that early on, you know, that you did all very well, and this is definitely how he is feeling right now. And some of these qualities that he's showing right now are as well a bit of a mirror effect of how you are feeling right now, Greta. And it is normal. I see that in my animals too. It's nothing to be said wrong or whatever, but they are such a beautiful mirror to us to kind of help us, you know, to, you know, and we can learn something from them. So that's what we are going to look at tonight. So Greta presented me with a few questions. First of all, I let normally the animals speak and say just what they feel like saying. So he said, I'm a happy cat and also quite funny and joyous. I'm sweet and I love attention. I am the king here. He actually said I'm the king here. I get fed well and also looked after very well. I love my home and my surrounding. I love the special care I receive. I know my worth. I have a smile, especially when I observe the household I belong to. Greta is often very busy. She dashes around, grabs something to eat on the fly. She loves her chocolate and has a sweet tooth. It's amazing what our pets can notice. I mean, this is not coming, it's coming from him, isn't it? She loves and enjoys her food, but when she has something in her mind, she will eat standing up and then runs off with food in her hands. I'm watching her with amusement. She keeps herself busy even on the weekends. She's writing and writing and writing and writing in front of your laptop. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then she could, then she might be cooking, and then a thought pops into her head, and off she goes and types it away. She is very, very clever. So he looks at you being very, very clever. Oh yes, there is also Greta's partner. He is much calmer and more quiet in his actions. He is very good for Greta. They are good for each other. They are compatible. And then I got an image of a wedding. So I don't know, maybe he is your husband or
Yeah.
plan? Yes, okay. So I wasn't sure then because I had an image of you know, of a wedding. So I wasn't sure if that was in the past or in plan.
Mm.
Greta is like a cat. She has a feline energy. She can jump fast from one corner to the other. It's very, very funny for me to watch.
Oh, you know what? He watches us when we work out because we work out.
Don't say this, hold on. I'm very communicative and she can read me quite well. I love the way she pampers me. I am fussy with my food. And she has to be quite creative with me. As I like only good and healthy food. A lot of the food is not as appetizing for us cats, and I like fresh food. And then I said, is that why you had an upset stomach the other day? He says, yes, if it is not so good for me, then it has to come out. And then he says, I love to be brushed. I love when she sits down and I can have a long cuddle. Greta is very quick-minded, but also very witty and funny. She loves to surprise her partner. And she loves to go out, not only for work, but also for fun and to walk. And then I had the feeling that it was for fitness in nature that you do. She is very disciplined. She has a creative mind. And I love to chill out and watch everything happen around me. So funny. How do you like to drink your water? These are questions that I normally ask. From a bowl or from a tap? Because I said, I'm fascinated by a dripping tap. Does he drink from a tap or something?
He has a fountain,
Ah,
but he sometimes will drink from the tap too, or at least play with the water.
yes, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
The water in the bowl is a bit cold at times. He said that in the winter.
Hmm.
So you can perhaps give him a bit more lukewarm water.
Okay.
I love the warmth and the sunlight and don't like so much the rain and the snow, though I go out, but it's not so. I'm getting wet. He doesn't like to get wet. Food. I love fresh fish. He kept saying that he loves fresh fish.
Hmm.
Have you noticed that or he hasn't?
He hasn't gotten it much, maybe just a couple times.
Okay, well, he said that he loves fresh fish because, you know, you have to be creative with him. And so maybe he's helping you with that.
Yeah.
Then I had the feeling that he was quite a connoisseur in the cat cuisine.
Yes, he really is.
He really is, yes.
Yeah.
Sleeping area. I like it, but I do love their bed too. He loves being in your bed. I love being pampered and treated in a special way. Then you asked, are you alone or bored? And he says, not at all. I'm happy to be at home, but also because when my parents are at home, a lot goes on. So I do like that. Take a rest and be quiet and observe. A lot is going on at home. And I said, can you describe that? There is a lot of moving energy and busyness and thoughts. But it's funny because he's like an observer type, you know, he just sits there and it's like he's watching TV. That would be like us watching TV. He's watching you like it's like like TV. Then you said, does he want a companion? He says, no, not yet. I don't like to share my cat parents at this time. And I said, are you happy? Yes, I'm very happy. I'm utterly spoiled, groomed, well fed, considered, and I love being also at home, in this home. About the vomit, he says his stomach is very sensitive to, you know, processed cat food or something, but Greta chooses generally good food for me. Then you asked about why no collar or no GPS. Well, GPS is because it disturbs me and to my field. It interferes with my energy system as it emits a high-pitched sound that you might not be able to hear, but we do. So I don't like it. The collar, it gives me a trapped feeling. Now, there comes something that you might be able to work with your psyche, with him. I feel like he died of choking, you know, maybe with a collar or something in the past, and that's why he doesn't like the collar. So maybe you will be able to work with him like that. On that. The message is, I would love to see Greta being a little calmer, especially when she has some special work. She's completely immersed, and there is no way of getting through to her. Not even her husband will. And neither I, sorry, that you just pause it. And neither I. She becomes fully absorbed in her own thoughts and does not like to be disturbed. I just want to say that I'm here to remind her to take it more playfully and less intense and less serious. She puts herself unnecessarily under performance pressure. So she is very clever. She does not need to do this at all. She just needs to remember her inner child and be more playful like me. Look at me. I don't do anything, but everything happens to me and around me.
He is the king.
But he's living his life. He's, you know, I mean, this is a teacher. You know, you have a living teacher there. You say you don't have to do it. You just have to sit back, observe, and let the world happen around you. And then he meows, you know, like that. So I'm here to help her with this. I do speak to her in her dreams, and she might not remember, but maybe if you tell her, she might, you know, something might come like a memory that is what he wants from you, or why he's come to you in this life. Then I asked, do you know why Greta is so intense with her work? I said, you need to look at her, at a memory in her childhood. So then here we come into the work of, how he is now helping you, because I said early on, pets are here, we help each other. Either it's because we mirror each other, we have the same wound, or they come into our life because we can help them. Or now in this case, it's the opposite. He is coming to your life because he wants to help you. And he wants to help you to just relax and be, again, a bit more playful, which is actually your how do you call it? Your essence, really. He's just wanting you to kind of look at what it is that caused you to be so intense, like so under pressure.
Wow.
Is it all true?
Yeah. He's funny though, like I've done research to find the best food. He doesn't want that. He wants the tastiest food.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care about the best food. He's like, nah, I want that. So and if I do something that he doesn't want, like change out his litter box to something more practical for me, he'll end up not going and having to go to the vet. Like, and he's, very chatty and playful. And he does hang out a lot with me when I work in my office. And also when we work out, he will be on the massage table chilling while we're like pumping, So he enjoys hanging out where we are. Although lately he's been spending more time on his own. I guess he needs to chill.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cuddles is when he wants them, and where, like, his favorite is if I go to the bathroom, then he wants to be on my lap and cuddle. Or in the mornings, he comes in for his morning cuddle, and that's it.
Because then you're relaxed.
Yeah.
You're relaxed. He's trying to kind of give you the message that that's what his wishes for you, to be more relaxed. In the bathroom, you will be relaxed, because otherwise you can't go to the bathroom. It's normal. And in the morning, presumably you will also be more relaxed. So where in your body do you hold this memory of this kind of, intensity around excelling, or I don't know how you want to put it?
Well, two things came to mind. I don't know where in the body, but I've always worked so hard on everything at school. I put so
Yeah.
much pressure on myself. Nobody put pressure on me. I did
You
it.
did it on yourself, yes.
Yeah. And my mom used to work so much and so hard. Yeah. So those were the things that came
So
to
what
mind.
you're saying is that this is something that was passed on from your mom.
It might be, yeah.
So the women in your line were working really hard.
Yeah.
Is there something in the line of the women why they had to work so hard? Go back a bit.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, probably going back just a few generations,
Yes.
was a pretty poor country.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So everyone had to work hard.
Yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't eat.
Yeah.
You'd be starving.
Yeah.
So when I say these things, does it kind of bring up something in you? When we're talking about, starving, not you have to really connect to the body, because the body knows more than your head, just the resonance.
Can you hear him?
No, I couldn't hear him. No, he's with us now, because he's this is what he wanted me to kind of talk to you about.
Yeah.
And just allow yourself to sink in the body and just see where in the body it sits, this kind of if it's called restlessness or kind of this, you name it.
It's like from here and up, so upper body and kind of.
Okay, and how would you call it? Like a pressure? How would you call it?
No, it's more of a fluttering feeling, like not being solid and grounded.
Find the quality, just the fluttering is not enough. You need to go more in deeper inside, from the heart going up, where the location is, to find exactly the word that is it being under pressure to survival fear? Would you call it like that? Survival fear?
Yeah.
Okay, survival fear, okay.
I've struggled a lot with headaches, so it might be connected with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you are connecting, would you say it's in the heart, or where exactly, if you were to locate it, or is it in the head? Where do you locate it?
I think it's in the throat.
It's in the throat, okay.
Yeah.
So you just allow yourself to go in the throat. And it's the fear, survival fear. And how many generations does it go by? It's the first number that comes to you.
9.
9 generations back.
Yeah.
And it's on the female line.
Yeah.
Okay, so we call up on this ancestor, this female ancestor. And we just invite her here. And perhaps you can just visualize a whole line of the women, behind you. So you have your mother and then your grandmother and so forth after the 9th.
So a gentle time reminder of 2-3 more minutes.
So just allow this this 9th one with all the other female line, and then you put a 10th one behind to give support to the whole rest of the line. And you just allow this strength to come through, because they were also strong women that were looking after their men and their children as well. So they had an endurance. And just perhaps an angelic being, and we can call upon Archangel Gabriel to help you. Just bring a bit more calmness and rest. May this healing do its work and continue doing its work until all this survival fear completely leaves and is just replaced with trust, and you can say what other word it's replaced with.
Confidence
And confidence, yeah.
and playfulness.
And playfulness. Okay, very good. Okay, good. Take a few breaths. And we just bow to these beautiful ancestors and thank them for their presence. And we thank Archangel Gabriel. Thank you. And I'm here for you in case you want to work a bit more on that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my darling. Sorry, Alexis, for spreading a bit more. It's hard sometimes to say.
Thank you. Could I ask you a question about this work? Could you tell us, in communicating with pets, how could we do it in a very simple way? If there was like one sentence that you could say that could help us to communicate with animals, what would that sentence be?
Well, the sentence would be to come into a more quiet space. So, you know, I actually have on the website, Haley Speaks to Your Pet. I have a meditation. It's actually a kind of a 21-day process, which will help you to then be able to connect with your pet. So like kind of 1 week, you listen to the same one, and then you're fed the second for 7 days and the third. So this is, you know, you can use that one. It's a gift from me to you, but otherwise healing the mind is really the key in this. You know, only when you're really calm and well centered in yourself, you're able to kind of pass a thought, you know, or a feeling, I should say, or an image, because animals see images to a pet, and also be able to be open to receive them back, because it's a two-way system.
In the book by a man called Stuart Wilde with an E, it's a very short book called Silent Power. Stuart Wilde talks about how you can mentally knock on somebody's third eye when you have a question, and then you receive an impulse back on the same kind of thought beam. Would you agree with that in the way that you communicate with animals? Is that, I mean, could you simplify it in that way? Would that work?
No, I wouldn't go and tap onto the third eye, but the way is, once you have stilled your mind, then it's about building a bridge from your heart to the heart of the pet, and asking permission if they are willing to open up. Yes, and
Yeah,
then that's how you by having this connection with the heart, you can then start with the communication, and then it's practice. It really is
amazing.
But I offer a lot on TikTok or Instagram or something. I often speak on how to do it and different things. So if you want to follow it,
Haley Speaks to Your Pet.
yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. And you're going to change the name to Padma Speaks to Your Pet, right?
Well, I can't now because I don't feel I can with the thing. It's kind of a bit weird.
Okay. Okay. So it's KHELI
Yes.
to your pet. Okay. Thank you so much both for being open to share that. Because of time, we're going to move on now. Syra, welcome. I know that you've just joined us. Hello. Paul, I'm going to come to you for your tree segment now. And if you are happy to do that, really interested to learn more about trees and their healing power.
Absolutely. Hi. So just a little bit of an introduction to this. So this is actually from I'm going to read from my laptop. I'm not reading anyone else's website. I'm actually reading an excerpt from my 6th program I'm just about to release, and my 3rd year-long one, which is all about Druid mysteries. To kind of give you an understanding, obviously, because of the barbaric behavior of the Christian invaders when they came to England and destroyed our holy places and obviously ransacked and killed our Druids, much of our mythology and understanding is kind of pieced together from little bits and pieces. So we don't have a direct lineage, but obviously people have pieced bits and pieces together. I also offer a disclaimer to Ros and Carl. Whilst my ancestral lineage is a mixture of Irish, Welsh, English, and Romany, I am by no means an expert in Irish Gaelic, so if I pronounce anything wrong, please forgive me. But anyway, so in this, the segment obviously I used to do was around inner child healing. I'm going to be bringing in the Celtic tree mysteries, magic, and healing. And I'm going to do it in the format of the Celtic lunar tree calendar. And there are 13 of there were originally 20 Celtic trees, and then 6 got added. There are 13 in the Celtic lunar tree calendar. And to be fair, no one actually knows if the Celtic tree lunar tree calendar was really followed by the ancient Celts, or whether it's just a romantic invention by the poet Robert Graves. But here we go. And also, if we would actually follow the lunar calendar, we'd eventually pace ourselves out with the Gregorian calendar, given the fact that sometimes in a year there were 12 full moons and not 13, but a little bit of a background. Anyway, however or not the Celtic tree lunar calendar is a modern invention or not, combining the Celtic tree zodiac is a powerful way to experience the pagan wheel of the year and deepen our connection to the 13 of the 26 sacred trees of the Celtic tree magic system, and the Ogham, which is the Celtic equivalent of the runes. No one really knows if this was a true language, but obviously there was little bits and pieces and stones and books and mythology around out there. And if anyone wants to know any of those, they're more than welcome to message me. But yeah, so it's the Celtic language equivalent to the Norse runes. Originally, there were 20 tree Oghams. However, as I said, an additional 6 have been added. However, the tree year starts 2 or 3 days after Canonis returns from the underworld at the winter solstice, reclaiming his mantle as Oak King for the season of growth. It is not surprising then that the first tree is birch, known as Beth in the Ogham, which is the tree of cleansing, helping to clear the way away the old winter, ready to in turn for Bridget to warm the land of her eternal fire, the source of the divine spark in all nature, at Imbolc on the 1st of February, 2nd in America, and that's something to do with the fact that in America they have some kind of holiday on the 1st of February. This is guarded by the Rowan, whose name in Gaelic is Lewis, meaning flame and herb, the tree sacred to Bridget. Rowan is a powerful protector to the magician. However, today we are in Alder Moon, which runs from the 18th of March to the 14th of April. And at this time of year, the time of the spring equinox, alder is flourishing along the riverbanks, its roots reaching into the water, its branches reaching to touch the sky, creating the connection between the land, sea, and sky, or the lower, middle, and upper worlds, which is so sacred to us Druids. Traditionally, there was a poem for each Ogham, for each tree, known as a kenning. It has an Irish word that I'm not going to pronounce because my attempt at pronouncing it is butchering the language, and I'm not going to do it. But a kenning is a poem with a metaphorical meaning in both Old English and Norse language. And there were three sources we use. One from Moran, who was a chief judge and druid of the Ulster during the Ulster cycle. And it is vanguard shield of hunting or warrior bands. The second comes from the legend of Cuchulainn, the Irish hero and king, protection of the heart. And the final source is from, and if I pronounce this wrong, the gods shoot me down. The third source comes from the god Angus Mac O, who's the god responsible for the Ogham and also language and learning. And it's of milk container. And that's because traditionally alder was used to store milk because it's waterproof. The practical and spiritual uses of alder, and to be fair, each time I do this is going to kind of go in this sort of order. So the practical and spiritual uses. This month is known as Ferin, which is the Irish name for alder. It is a time to turn inwardly, to make decisions of the spirit and planting the seeds for the year. To practice magic relating to prophecy and divination, it is a time to go within, into our own inner spirit garden, to grow the seeds of the alder, as alder is a perfect partner for divination, releasing our intuitive powers as the seeds take root within our own inner spirit garden and the tree grows for our own inner spirit. We can use the twigs.
Gentle reminder, 2 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right. I'm going to do this as quick as I can. We could use the twigs in fairy magic, and we can make flutes from the branches to call upon the air spirits. Alder, when used to build and use the structure with its protective qualities. Alder was used traditionally to make shields. The Acme, so Acme means tribe. Alder belongs to the Acme of Beth, meaning birch. Alder is used in shamanism to build spirit shields to protect the shaman on their travels, keeping the path clear and keeping them on track. As a magical device, alder brings the mind into focus and balance. It's a great tool for the warrior, giving us the wisdom and the appropriateness of timely defense, showing us it's not about bravery or cowardice nor retreat, but effective protection. Alder is a potent magical ally in starting new projects, helping us to overcome the weakness of inaction. Alder can lend us strength during period, and this is really important for obviously divine timing. So alder is a powerful and potent ally when we're healing grief, giving us the endurance to go on when we really need it. But to do this, we must build a strong relationship with this powerful tree spirit. In healing, alder is an anti-inflammatory used for rheumatoid arthritis. Placed on the soles of the feet, it eases foot pain. A decoction made from alder bark can be used for burns and inflammation, and gargled to treat a sore throat. As a vibration.
Just finish your sentence if you want, please. And I have questions.
Okay. It's not enough time, but okay. Alder lends us stability and allows us, gives us grounding when we have overly strong emotions, helping us move forward, encouraging strength and endurance, clearing the way forward if required. I've got one last little paragraph. Can I read it or no?
Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, we still have two segments. One is 20 minutes to go. So, but yeah, if you can be short.
I'm just going to say the use of the Ogham in a reading encourages the strength to move forward with courage and confidence. It enables us to get grounded and gives us protection in both the physical and the spiritual realms, giving us the ability to be present, centered, and grounded. There you go. And also, very, very quickly, this is if we can just see, this is the symbol, similar to the rune. We can see that for the Ogham of alder.
Okay. My question is this. You mentioned three trees, the birch, the rowan, and the elder. In one
alder.
word. Sorry?
Alder, not elder.
Alder.
A-L-D-E-R.
Okay. In one word, if you can, what is the healing energy of birch?
Healing energy of birch is all about clearing away anything that no longer serves us.
Thank you. And the rowan, what's the healing energy of the rowan tree?
Again, rowan is all about protection, but the necessity for the fire to burn away like negative entities, for example.
Thank you. And the alder, you said.
Alder is an anti-inflammatory, and again, it gives us grounding and protection, which is very much the acme of Beth. Is all about clearing, protection, and cleansing.
And if people wanted to work with you one-to-one, how can they find you? Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just find me on my website.
Okay, please put your website in the chat. Please bear in mind for next segment, for next time, to continue on different healing energies of trees. Thank you, Paul, for that. So welcome to Chadwick that's joined us. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I haven't asked somehow the question that I was going to ask at the beginning has not yet been asked, and one of the reasons that you're here this evening is because I wanted to ask this question to everybody. But before I do, I want to go to Bonnie for your segment, and then I'll ask the question, and then we'll close with Greta. Greta, I'm afraid you won't get your 20 minutes this evening, but you will get 10. Okay, so Bonnie, your segment. Love the cat behind you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Okay, about almost 2 months ago, I started my little oil pot while I was online with you guys. Remember this? I had to move it into a larger pot. And so I'm giving you a report. Some of it I filtered and made a solution for myself. And here's a beautiful little jar of it. You can see a second, filtering.
For those that don't know what it is, what is it?
This is a mugwort oil.
Mugwort oil.
And we were talking about, Paul and I were talking about how mugwort is really good for dreams. And everything I read was not supposed to be taken internally, but Paul said that he has information on teas and how it's used internally. So anyway, I made it for my feet. I've been complaining online about having spasms, not leg rest. Everybody keeps telling me it's leg syndrome. No, I'm having spasms in my feet. And so this is the only thing that I have found so far that relieves it for a couple of hours. And then I have to keep putting it back on. So I had put peppers in here and mugwort, a whole bunch of things.
So this is to have conscious dreams when you go to into sleep, to have like fully conscious dreams.
Yeah. Yes. Now, so far, and I'm a dreamer, so far my dreams have not been over the top. So this week I threw in the whole bag of mugwort because I want my oil to work. And you can see that in this pot, this is very, very, very thick. Oh. See that? And I will strain that. And anyway, that is that. Today, I got to talk to you about another herb. And I pulled this from an oracle card last night to think about, okay, which herb is most important for us right now? So I came across Tulsi. Okay, Tulsi. And you and all.
Also, holy basil, right?
You're very good. Yes. Yeah. Remember, we talked about holy basil about a year and a half ago or so, and I went out and bought this. But my oracle book refers to it only as Tulsi, and I read it and I thought, wow, this is really interesting. And so I need to bring this up, and I'll try to be as quick as I possibly can. Okay. Tulsi, or it became holy basil because Christians visited Asia, and they took it back and they renamed it holy basil. So this is a related to the basil family, but it comes from Southeast Asia. Okay, so it's a main pillar of medicine of the Ayurvedic medical herbal medicine, and it relates back 5,000 years BC. It's known as Incomparable One and the Queen of Herbs and the Mother Medicine of Nature. I never realized it was that important. Yes, Krishna, that's right. You're absolutely right. Okay, it's the ancient Vedic text, the Bhagavata Purana, the Queen of Herbs, as noted as a plant embodiment of Lakshmi, wife of Vishnu, and known as goddess of wealth and generosity, and of Hindu mythology. Tulsi is regarded as a living gateway between heaven and earth. Okay, and I wanted to share that. That is so important. This is an herb that gets you to the place of between here and there. So you become like what's that in the tarot group? The placement of starts with an H, Hierophant, the Hierophant. So you become a Hierophant. Okay, so okay, so I said that the Christians named it holy basil, and they related it to divinity and purity. Okay, so this herb is known as an assistant to life longevity and rejuvenation. So it can take us back in time, and it can rejuvenate our skin. I introduced it last time as something for our memory that we use to enhance our memory. And so I have been using a lot of things to enhance my memory. And so you can see my memory has improved a great deal since a year and a half ago. But this is one of the reasons I started using it. It's also used for gas, colds, flus, headaches, migraines, Greta, and anxiousness, weakness, memory enhancement, premature aging, tumors, and much more. So in this little Tulsi or Tulsi, I'm not for sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly, you can find a world of wonderful things about it.
It's 1 or 2 minutes left.
Okay, the Tulsi goddess sits profoundly facing the beautiful peacock in this card. Okay, and this symbolizes heaven on earth. Okay, hold on. There was one more thing that was very important that I wanted to okay, Tulsi today is here to teach us. It's related to Jupiter and Mercury. Mercury is related to conversation, and Jupiter is about blessings. It is related to both of those. So that is a blessing of being able to be expansive in our mind and to communicate with an impeccable quality, much like heaven and earth. So it's about wonderment, innocence, and impeccability. And that's about Tulsi.
You know, the most interesting thing as well is that we mentioned Archangel Gabriel, which is all about communication, and it sounds like it's linked to communication, and also it's very good for oral health. So you can use the essential oil in water to gargle or help with throat infections. It's also anti-cancer. An amazing herb to be used as a tea or in a vaporizer. Bonnie, thank you so much. That was awesome. Tulsi or holy basil, fantastic. So before I go to Greta, I'm going to ask this question that I was meant to ask at the beginning, and I need to keep the answers really, really short because of time. So my question was, what limiting belief or thought do you have about yourself? Okay. So my answer first, and then everyone else. For me, the limiting thought that I have for myself is that I could never lose weight. And I am working to undo that program. So perhaps when you do your healing segment, Greta, maybe you could introduce something with that. Chadwick, tell us, I know that you posted about your meditation and you had something that you wanted to share about your insight, what you received. Keep it brief if you can, please. Tell us.
All right. Yeah, I've been unemployed for a bit, and I had a car wreck recently. So I've been, and the solar flares, they contribute to a feeling of disconnection. It was kind of a traumatic experiencing having the car wreck, but I've been in a state of disorientedness or not in my body. However, I did a channeling from my higher self to a friend yesterday, and he spoke to the conditions I'm currently facing. I am on the autism spectrum. I do have ADHD, so I do have challenges in life, and that could be considered limitations. My higher self said that that she chose this life with this neurodiversity because she wanted to have those challenges and limitations to be given the reflection that this is a life to rest and be take it easy on the self, that I don't have to strive to be like the person that achieves great success and wealth or abundance. I have abundance and love in my connection to spirit. That's a simplified version.
Chadwick, I want to invite you to be a main guest in the future, and we can talk about that at a later date. But what you said was really powerful for me in terms of when I have very big goals and aspirations in life, and I think really bringing it down to ground level, and not allowing myself to be disappointed when things aren't amazing is a real key thing to remember for all of us. Is like, just be okay with this moment. And Abraham talks about it, just let it go, and that's when it comes. So thank you for bringing that up. Okay, I'm going to ask that question to everybody just very, very quickly, and then I'm going to hand over to Greta, and we're probably going to go 10 minutes over 1:30. But I think it's important that we all answer this question. Syra, what limiting belief do you have about yourself?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I wrote it down actually from this morning, but it's kind of changed since you spoke.
Go ahead.
It was a longer version what I wrote down this morning. I don't seem to be able to afford the things I want, and when I work more hours, I'm then too tired to enjoy the things I want to do.
Okay. Right. Say the first part one more time, please. The first part.
Well, I sort of changed it after you said yours. Shall I say what I wrote down just now?
Yes.
Okay. I never seem to have enough money to do the things I want to do or buy.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, from what you're saying, just connect with the thought, I'm abundant, and you'll start to shift that, but not just the thought, the feeling, of abundance, and then you will manifest more of that. Syra, thank you. I know that's very short but simple.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. Anna, what limiting belief do you have about yourself?
Ooh, which to choose? I would that there are so many other people that can do what I do just as well or better. So what do I have to offer that's so special? That came up this week with my
and what I'm feeling for you is a fountain of opportunity. So I want you to get and connect with that picture of a fountain of opportunity, like a literal fountain of opportunity, like a vortex that's open to you. And
like
say that again.
feel like I want to draw that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Anna. Roz, I'm going to ask you the same question. What limiting belief or thought do you have about yourself?
That I don't belong on this earth plane.
Wow. Okay. Oh, the first thought that I heard when you said that was that I am everything. You know, as you contain within you the seed of creation. So you belong. You not only belong, but you are the divine made manifest to experience here on this planet. Remember that.
Thank you, Alexis. It kind of ties in with the trees and the herbs and that kind of thing. Yeah, I like that. Nice.
You not only belong here, but you're meant to be here because you are divinity made manifest. So when you feel like you don't belong, remember that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Padma, what limiting belief do you hold about yourself?
I've gone a bit blank, to tell you the truth. But there is definitely something about certain fear of making the fool out of myself or something, especially if I get paid for the animal communications. And there's always a huge kind of nervousness, and there need not being, because when I don't get paid, I'm very relaxed. I do well anyway. So that's
the first thought that came to me was the Hayoko or divine clown. You know, have you heard of the Hayoko?
No.
Or the divine clown? I urge you to research that word, Hayoko. It's Heyokaah.
Oh, write it down on the chat.
Yes. Heyokaah. It's the divine clown. And I will put that to everybody so that they can see it. Hayoko. So it's to connect with that energy of the Hayoko. Research that word and the meaning of it, or the essence of that word, and feel that in your vibration, in your essence, in your energy, and then you will allow yourself to manifest it.
So in a way, being playful, is that what you mean?
Even more than that, yeah. Like the divine clown, like the jester. Yeah, playfulness is a perfect description. Thank you for sharing. I have to move on because of time. Carl, what's your limiting belief?
So I think shared with Anna's one, but the one I'm going to use for now is, how can I compete with the experts?
Yeah, very linked, right? Also linked to Padma's, in some way. So and actually, Roz, it's the same thing for you. It's that I am the divine made manifest. And I suggest working with that affirmation. I am the divine made manifest. And you can remove ego from that completely, because when you are that energy, you are so much greater than what you are as a human. You're in your all, you're in your isness. I know you know exactly what I mean.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Paul, your limiting belief.
So the last few days, I've been feeling a profound sense of loneliness. And the gesh, the story, my equivalent of a limiting belief that I'm telling myself, and this is really hard to admit, is that no one loves me and no one wants me. And I'm really unlovable. And I know that's not true, but it's just so strong at the moment.
Here's the statement that I heard when you were speaking. Ironically, it is lonely, but within that loneliness is everything. Everything. And this is the statement. I am the oneness in the all that is. I am the oneness in the all that is. Okay, just ponder that, be that, feel that. Thank you for your bravery and sharing. Bonnie, your limiting thought.
I wrote something this morning, but I'm going to change it. I think allowing myself to be vulnerable is limited.
So bravery is also linked to vulnerability, and being vulnerable is brave, right? Because when you can show who you are, then go ahead.
Well, in a family like mine, you don't talk about near-death experiences publicly. You don't talk about yourself publicly. And so I was raised from a family where you don't get sick. You don't tell anybody you're sick. You don't tell anybody you hurt. And so being brave in my family to tell them, yes, is, that's a possibility. Standing up.
Here it is. It's very, very simple. It's safe to be me.
Mm-hmm.
In the totality of that, when you can be you can be vulnerable and you can be brave. It's safe to be me. And if you can really feel that, the energy behind that statement, it is safe to be me, all of that vulnerability will be, you can embody it, you can allow it, and you won't feel it at times because it will just be joyful.
Right. I agree. Thank you.
Thank you. Greta, your feeling or thought?
Yeah, it's that healing is really difficult for me. And even if my modalities work really well for others and for my clients, nothing's going to work for me. Nothing.
Or healing is my natural birthright.
Yeah.
Healing is my natural state and my natural birthright. You are the embodiness of it. Remember that you're a goddess. Yeah. I mean, I know that within that statement there was a shadow love. Yeah. But the essence of your being is that you are a goddess made manifest. As I said before, we are gods and we are goddesses, but we don't allow ourselves to be fully manifest, right? Because of programming and fear and limitations that we impose upon ourselves. But ultimately, we are gods and we are goddesses, or at least we contain the seed of that, right? If we allow ourselves to remove our ego and embody the all that is. So the fear is just the fear body that's not us. And when you feeling that thought, remember false evidence appearing real. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Okay, with that, I'm gonna allow the closing time over to you, Greta. We're gonna go 10 minutes over. So if we stop at 2040, which is 2140 for you. 2150, yeah? Thank you for being here, everyone. I'm going to let Greta close this session. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to piggyback on what Alexis just guided us through. So I want you all to think of the opposite of what you just said. What do you want instead? Instead of that limiting belief, what do you want to be the truth? And you can write it down if you want, that'd be nice. So the opposite of that limiting beliefs or those limiting beliefs. For you, Paul, I just heard I love myself. Which is a great place to start. And since we're all one, it means if you do, we all love you anyway. So, yeah, just take some time to do that. And I'm going to use the one you gifted me, Alexis. So you can do that, or you can create your own statement around what you want instead. And then what we're going to do is we are going to release any emotions from the group that will help us release the negative statements and help us install the positive counterpart in the subconscious mind. And make sure that you keep it positive, simple. You can include a positive emotion if you want to, but don't do any I don't want, or, it has to be positive. Okay. No no's. The subconscious doesn't understand a no. It will interpret it as you wanting what you want. Don't want. You understand. So if you're all ready, if there's anyone who would not like to be included, then simply state that to yourself and you won't be. And if you want to be included, you will be. And anyone watching the recording will also be included in this healing if they want to. Okay, good, beautiful, Paul. So my name is the group. My name is Greta. Is there a trapped emotion we can release to achieve this goal that we just set? Yes. Helplessness. Let's release that trapped emotion of helplessness. And for the record, I've never met anyone like you, Anna, and never met anyone with your gifts. And also Carl, I've never met anyone like you either. So y'all are quite unique. I just wanted to point that out. Yeah. Dread. Dread is the next emotion. So just acknowledge what emotion or what thought comes up when I say dread. And let's release it. 3 swipes to release this trapped emotion of dread. Good. Abandonment. Might be self-abandonment for many of us. Hi, Chadwick. It's nice to see you with your nice rainbow there. So let's release this trapped emotion of abandonment. You're like an angel where you came in with your rainbow and your white t-shirt. It's like we had an angel come in. It's beautiful. Okay, is there more? Yes. Discouragement. Just acknowledge whatever comes up for you. And let's release. Ooh. Good. More dread. So another trapped emotion of dread. Let's release. Good. Unsupported. Now let's release that. Good. There is an inherited emotion of terror. So this actually means that everyone who ever inherited this emotion, and also the people who trapped them, are here. So like we've got a group of ancestors here right now, and they're very excited that we're going to release these emotions, and also future generations, because we're releasing these energies from all past, present, and future generations. So it's going to require 10 swipes. So let's release this trapped emotion of terror from everyone here in all past, present, and future generations. Released from everyone? Yes. Good. Okay. Anger. So let's release this trapped emotion of anger. Released, yes. More. Inherited defensiveness. And let's release from all past, present, and future generations 10 swipes. Oh. Ooh. Bitterness. Bitterness. Loved your nod, Paul. It's like, yes. I know. Let's release it. Good. I'm going to continue, but before that, Chadwick, you said you've been in a car wreck, right? And feeling like out of, so in the body code, there's something called spirit out of body, and you identify how much of the spirit is still within the body, and then you release underlying reasons why to get the spirit to come completely back into the body. So that could be something to look into, the body code. And I'll put my information in the chat in case you want to chat with me about it, but I would recommend it. All right, is there more for us to release? Yes. Bitterness, again. Let's release that. 3 swipes. Good, more. Dread. Let's release. Good. Confusion. Let's release that confusion. Good. Oh, and this is this one's for you, Anna, but it's for all of us. Does any or all of us have an imbalance in the aura? Can we reset and rebalance the aura? Yes, so let's do that. Let's reset and rebalance your aura. Is that done? Yes. More confusion. Let's release the confusion. I'm laughing because you might be familiar with the shamanic burps as a way of releasing, and for me, it's a lot of yawning. A lot of yawning. More discouragement. Let's release that. That's funny, Paul. More confusion. Let's release that trapped emotional confusion. The next one is effort unreceived. Effort unreceived. Let's release that. Good. Sadness. Let's release that trapped emotion of sadness. 3 swipes. Good. Self-abuse. Good one. This can be negative self-talk. It can be not treating your body as you know that it would serve you to do with food and movement and that sort of thing. And it can even be self-harm. Let's release. Good. Creative insecurity. Doubting one's ability to create anything from big to small. Anything from a meal to a pleasant afternoon to a good life to a career to artwork. Let's release. Good. All right, we are complete. Actually, for fun, I want you all, you can be muted, but I want you all to say out loud what you intended instead. And I'm going to muscle test to see if that's now testing strong, okay? So just do that. Healing is my natural birthright. Healing is my natural state. And I'm testing for all of you. I'm getting a strong. Awesome. So if you'll humor me, why don't we celebrate? However you want to celebrate, if you want to hug, if you want to dance, if you want to high five. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. And I'm glad I didn't have a plan, Alexis, because what we just did really worked out. So
That was beautiful. Thank you. It felt so joyful, joyous. Okay, let's close with some gratitude, shall we? So let's pick one thing for, so everybody say one thing positive about one person that's not you. Okay, so if somebody mentions that person, then mention a different person. Greta, you start.
okay, I want to say that I just think Chadwick has the most beautiful smile. Just lights up the screen.
And something you're grateful for.
Oh, Chadwick's beautiful smile that lights up my screen.
Lovely. Okay, and Bonnie, you look so beautiful tonight, and you know
Yeah.
you have just a youthful radiance about you that I haven't seen in you before. It's just beautiful.
Oh, and
My
Bonnie,
oil- oils.
can we see the cat
I don't know.
behind you?
What I wanted to say is the sun. Everybody's having negative energy, but I'm having this incredible positive energy for like the past week. So it's, I don't know. Maybe
I'm
that's
grateful
it.
for all your art as well. Thank you. Okay, something that you are grateful for, and say something positive about a person.
In all honesty, I am so grateful for every single one of you because everyone brings something really wonderful to the group. And thank you. That's what I'm thankful for.
Thanks, Bonnie. Paul.
I'm really grateful for you, actually, because bringing us all together, and tonight everyone was the answer to the thing that I didn't know was missing.
Mhm.
So thank you.
That's
And
beautiful.
what am I grateful for? I'm also grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this space. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for Carl.
Ooh, I'm grateful for to Padma for the joy that she shared with her gift and the love of her gift that she shared with us all. It like lit us all up.
That's gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carl.
Padma, it's you.
Yes.
Something that you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for Anna's groundedness and power that comes through.
Could you say that one more time? I missed what you said.
Sorry, I should come closer. I said, I'm very grateful for Anna's kind of power that is coming through and groundedness. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Me too. Thank you. Roz.
I'm grateful for Greta's cat.
Yay.
So cool.
Love that. Love that. Thank you, Roz. Anna.
Couldn't unmute. I am grateful to Greta for her incredible support and yeah, always very supportive.
That's a beautiful thing. Me too. Thank you. Syra.
I'm grateful to Greta for that last segment and the kind of soothing voice you've got. It's really nice.
Thank you. I'm grateful that you always show up, Syra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for you, Alexis, for
I've known you for so many years.
organising this group.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a safe space, which I don't necessarily have with, in other situations.
I just want to say as well, Chadwick, I'm really pleased to meet you. I'm so glad you turned up this evening. You've got such a beautiful presence. It's really wonderful that you came. Thank you. I'm really glad to connect with you. So something that you are grateful for.
This is from my higher self to all of everyone present here, to their higher consciousness, their higher selves, that you are all so beautiful and your gifts are so incredible and your limitless love is so beautiful and just greatly appreciated in spirit and much needed in this world.
Yay, so true, absolutely. Thank you so much everyone for being here, and hope to see you again in a couple of weeks. Bring your tree magic, bring your art, bring your psychic abilities, bring your healing, bring your light, bring your love. Hope to see you. Have a beautiful evening, rest of the day. Love you all.
Love you, Alexis. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.